Welcome back to the Garden Hutch. Today we discuss week 44 of 2022. Let's get going. Well, from a weather standpoint, week 44 was really pleasant. Before we get too far into this though, I'd like to remind you folks, if you haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate that. And if you enjoy the content, hit the thumbs up. It helps us kind of get recommended to some other folks. So with that being said, we got some rain during week 44, but it was like an inch, just a little over, which means this week I'm gonna have to water is what it means. So we're going to go through and take a look at a few things that happened over the week and that we have to get planned. But I think like most of you, it's heading into the second week of November. Holidays are right around the corner. That means family, a lot of fun, a lot of good times, but that also means less time around the property getting things taken care of. So here on the homestead, there's always a lot to get done. So that's what we're going to kind of go over today. A few things we got done during week 44 and some of the plans for week 45. Hey, Beansy. All right, so one of the things that we did was we had shown in one of our videos that we got a bunch of this potting soil, and it's moisture control. Essentially what it was, a bunch of organic peat moss in it. It had a few other additives and that sort of stuff, some perlite and whatnot. But anyway, the idea was, you can put it in your pots and things and it'll last through a rough summer. Decided to put some of it in our strawberry bed. So because we got such a good price on it, we went ahead and put it in here. You better not get in my strawberries and start digging. It doesn't matter. He thinks anytime I put fresh dirt in anything, it's for him to play in. Beansy. So anyway, the idea is that we're going to use that moisture control potting soil and we're going to put it in here. We're supposed to get rain next week. So what I'm probably going to do is end up watering the strawberry beds. Really, the only place we're pulling veggies right now is from the top garden. But since I went ahead and put this in there, I'll put an inch and a half in this bed. And whenever I do that, once it's done, has a chance to drain out, make sure there's nothing that needs to be adjusted, I'll go through and put some straw on top of it, and it'll be good for the winter. BJ, I'm telling you what. I wanted to throw in here real quick, since I didn't address it earlier. When the rain came through, we got an inch and a half. It came through really fast. There was a lot of flash flooding, that sort of thing. Also, there was a lot of damaging winds. So another thing that we've had to do is sort of go through, pick up a lot of limbs and that sort of stuff. And as you can see behind me, a big part of this week is going to be taking care of these leaves. Raking them up, getting them in the gardens and that sort of stuff. So before I forgot, I wanted to make sure I mentioned all that. So we'll just take a quick walk here real fast through the fall garden up here. You can see down here the carrots. They're growing bigger. They didn't jump as fast as I thought they would. We do have a couple days in the 80s, so hopefully after that they kind of start getting back to normal and growing a little faster. But you can see these down here are doing fantastic. These obviously are 3 weeks ahead of the other ones and 3 weeks ahead of the ones on the end. So what I was hoping was to have some of these for Thanksgiving, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So we'll have really big ones for Christmas. But we're still able to eat turnip greens. We're loving it. It's fantastic. And then over here, of course, we still haven't made it through cleaning up this half of the salad garden, and you can see that one down there is coming along rapidly. So we're going to try to eat this salad this week. We'll replant this, and we'll show that, of course, and then we'll go ahead and start working on that once that part is done. But you can see this butter crunch is looking delicious, and it really is. It's nice and juicy and such. So this time of year is really good for growing that kind of lettuce. Having said that, we do have a bit of a freeze coming up. Most of the lettuces will make it. I think the lowest is going to be like 26 or so. So we should be just fine on our salad garden. But the tomatoes that have sprouted that we'll look at here in a minute, they're not going to like that. So we've left this in here, and this week I'll be doing a video on kind of all of this stuff. So I don't want to put the cart before the horse, as the man says. Beansy, are you just following me from place to place this morning? He likes hiding out in here. So here's just a quick look at the beets. The beet roots on them are starting to really take off, so we will more than likely be able to start eating beets, you know, I don't know, end of November, early December. So we had shown this before, how these tomatoes from the bottom had bounced back. You can see, you know, they don't look bad. They're even getting in here, you can see they're starting to get some flowers on them. And then next week, of course, we're gonna have the freeze will come through and it'll wipe all of this stuff out. And the final thing I'd like to discuss today is, again, you know, it's November, holidays are coming up, that sort of thing. So we've got an upcoming video this week discussing how to make your garden inviting for your holiday guests. Here on the homestead, we entertain quite a bit of family during this time of year. And one of the things we like to do is just sort of make the gardens sort of a secondary or tertiary spot for people to sort of hang out. You know, it can get kind of warm in the house depending on the weather when you're cooking, that sort of stuff or whatever. So it's good to have options as far as areas to mingle and that sort of thing. So keep an eye out for that. That should be upcoming, like I said, Wednesday or Friday of this week. So I believe that's all I can ramble about for today's video. We appreciate all you folks sticking out here till the end. Until next time, I hope everybody takes care of themselves. Peace.